The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the June 13th magnificent Monday edition of today's Traders Edge. Showing most Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there had a great weekend. Hope you're having a great day. Let's make sure that you and I do everything we can to have an extraordinary day. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that things happen for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I can make that little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Of course, I would be disingenuous to say that we'll just pass. That Orlando thing hits home. In any event, I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I am here to serve you. So, feel free to call in at any time, 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, 727-445-1044. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, we have the Dow trading off 45 points. She's trading at 17,821. S&P down 5 at 2090. NASDAQ Composite off 24 points, trading at 4871. Russell 2000. Down 6 points, trading 11.57. Gold's up $11. 12.87 is the number she's printing. Silver's up 11 pennies, trading out at 17.44. Light sweet crude back a quarter at 48.82. Leading the charge here to the upside. Well, you've got LinkedIn Corp, the buyout by Microsoft, of course, really saving the day for many an investor inside of LinkedIn. Intuitive Surgical, that's up 1%, $6 and change. Sturm Ruger, that's a sad case, up 10%, but still up $5 and change. Priceline up $5. Pioneer Natural Resources up about 3. Acuity Brands up 3. To the downside, you've got Chipotle. That is the leader. Dollar-wise, well, it's not really dollar-wise. I guess dollar-wise is, individual stock-wise. It's Chipotle. That's interesting. Not much dollar-wise really moving to the downside here. Yeah, I got all U.S. stocks out there. Certainly there's some ETFs, but you've got Intercept Pharmaceuticals down about $4, 2.5%. China Biologic down about $4. Granger down $3.70. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals off $3. So not anything really significant dollar-wise to the downside. Of course, the markets are not down that substantially. Dow being off 46 points. So, okay, where do we begin here? Which is a great question. Where do we begin? Let's see what the markets. Let's go check in. Let's kind of do this methodically here. Let's go take a look at the advanced decline oscillators. I believe everything is now below zero. If we take a look at the Dow, the Dow is just below zero. Of course, if you're watching us on TigerTV, you can pay attention to the green diagonal lines on my chart out here. You can see that price, in essence, is coming right now and testing its trend, so to speak. You've got the New York Stock Exchange at the left-hand panel. That really is testing the trend line. Dow hasn't made it all the way down there, nor has the S&P 500, nor has the NASDAQ Composite. So the trend is still our friend coming off of the February lows. That's the only way to read it right now with oscillator readings down below zero, not in an oversold level out here. That would say that there should be more downside action. So the message out here, more downside action. You can see the VIX index in the very bottom right-hand panel of my screen, trading at 1945. That is up about, I think, about 13% or so. Let's see what the exact number is. It's up 14%. Up 14% today. I don't know what the close is like. I'll assume the market closes here. It's up 14%. We saw Friday's VIX index up 16%. I got to know what trading style you're on. If you were trading the futures markets, make sure you're using some really tight stops here, because the markets could not be generating a message here that you're going to see a bounce, and perhaps a pretty significant one. Does it have to happen? No. But you get back-to-back days like that in a market that has a trend that has not been broken to the downside. Be careful. Don't interpret the market's anything differently, at least from a technical trading standpoint. Just be careful out there. But hey, let's go out all the way out to California this morning, out in California that is, and speak with Garo. Garo, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. Thank you, sir. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks so much for asking. And this morning, you would like to speak about or take a look at Chipotle CMG as a ticker symbol?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what you're looking at, what you're doing, how we can help you.
I think this is the bottom, and from here on, it's going to go up. December the 1st, 2016 was the bottom of it, 399.14. Today it hit 399. And it hit about an hour ago, the first dot on the 15 minutes. And on 30 minutes, I'm waiting for that, which is $401.97. From there on, I'm going to buy and see what will happen. 200 shares. What is your idea?
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you've gotten a signal. You're waiting for price to get back up to give you that double confirmation, I suppose, so to speak. Is that
Yes.
what I'm hearing? Okay.
Yes.
Great. So let's start off with, folks, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, what you see here is you see a chart for Chipotle, CMG as a ticker symbol. Now, one of the things that Garo uses, a great indicator, great tool for trading, produced or created by J. Wells Wilder out here. And you'll see the little dots that are on my screen here. Those are the parabolic SAR dots. Now, one of the things that Garo had mentioned, if we take a look at the swing point, I have January 12th, 2016. Let me get the volume out there so I can give that metric as well. What Chipotle did was it got down to a low of 399.14. Now, the volume on that trading session was 1.6 million shares. Now, today so far, we've seen a low of 405.40. I don't know what number I used before there, but the low was...
Today's low was 399.
Let me see here. What did I do? Was I not... 399. You're right. 399. Hey, 399 even Steven. That should make the hair on Basil Chapman's neck stand up because he likes those round numbers. I know he likes round number highs. He just got a round number low. I don't know if he's listening in, but maybe he'll go ahead and pipe in there. But clearly we have a test of the January 12th swing point. Now, that swing point, again, on January 12th, had 1.6 million shares. And as long as today has less than 1.6 million shares, you're at 844 so far, it would seem like that it's going to, just by straight line math, as long as you got to close back above 399.14, and you are trading right now at 401.05, you would have a failure on price and volume at a swing point. So just simply to add to your, hey, this is a bottom call, would in fact be that scenario. If I take a look at any of our market profiles, see if there's anything that is out here, I'm going to go take a look, because it's longer term here. I'm going to take a look and see if I can add the weekly numbers out here. There's nothing out here from a profile standpoint that's going to give us any piece of information on the daily chart out here. It does say that on the bounce, what you've got to see is you want to see the Chipotle close above 428.33. That could be the first level of resistance. But we've got to go to a hard break here. Can you hang on with us? That way I can switch to a 30-minute chart and a 15-minute chart, and you can take the folks through. You can take the folks through what it is that you're looking at once again. So this is Steve Rhodes with my guest host, Garo, in California. We're taking a look at Chipotle, and we're utilizing the parabolic SAR system. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the line with Garo in California. This is a treat for you because Garo uses a system developed by J. Wells Wilder called a parabolic SAR. I would have to say with inside the TFNN listening audience, to my knowledge, he is the expert. So he is our resident expert, and he identified a potential trade setup here in Chipotle. We looked during that last segment at Chipotle on a daily basis. We saw that it was testing a swing point with what appears to be light volume. As long as it closes above $3.99 and some change out there, that would be a rejection of a swing point low. Now, Garo, I have the 30-minute chart up on my screen. I think that was the next time frame that you mentioned that you were looking for. Is that correct? Maybe you can walk folks through what you were looking at. That would be great.
Yes, 15 minutes is very good if you're aggressive, yes. But if you're conservative like me, 30 minutes, that is the king of the time frequency. Just look at 30 minutes on this one. It is $401.91.
Yes.
I will buy that over that price. I would buy that $402 or $402.20 when it passes that 401.91. And that's from there on, it starts. I won't say that it will go right the way up, but it will go to the next step, to the pivot point, which is $407.18. From here to there, so I would say about $5-6. It has a place to move either today or tomorrow. But if you look at Apple, if you bring the Apple chart and look at the 30 minutes on Apple chart.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the Apple chart. We've got the 30-minute chart right now.
Yes, sir. You see, as long as the candle doesn't hit that upper dot, it will not go. It will not go up. It will stay. You see how many days we're talking about that long candle. The candle was on. When was that? On the 6th of June. You see, the cord of that is so high, and the first dot is at the very top of that cord. And
sure.
Yeah, it's keep coming down until the candle doesn't hit that dot, and the dot doesn't come close and intercept to that point. There is no chance for the stock to go higher. This is the way you look at any chart that you wanted to. Look at Chevron today, CVX. Look at Hess Oil Company, HES. All of them, they hit today at their 30-minute, and they start to jump up.
Yes. Well, one of the things I just realized, was that the chart that I was looking at, and because sometimes you and I have some differences of what the parabolic star reading is, and I just realized that on this chart here, because sometimes I'm taking a look at futures charts and so forth, that I did not have the regular trading hours, 9:30 to 4 o'clock on this chart, and because it's a mathematical calculation using the pre-market and the post-market trade information is going to impact that. So I just changed that over here. But you did. I hope you were listening to the show. Remember the day you called and we were speaking about Apple. And we were looking at that one candle session. We had somebody that inside the den that made us aware that it was a bad tick, and then I followed up that next day, and it was. So on the daily chart inside Apple, I currently have that parabolic star reading marked at 100.19 as of this moment. So are you still looking at the long side of Apple? I know that you were last week sometime, maybe it was the week before.
Yes, I'm looking for the whenever it comes to that point where
Yes.
Where the candle will hit the candle will hit the dot. Apple has a little bit work to do until that dot comes and hits the candle. Here, if you look at the daily chart, you will see that the candle hit the bottom dot, and the one dot went up at the daily chart.
Sure.
That is a very bad news for Apple.
Yeah. Change in trend, right? I guess when you take a look at their parabolic star. But speaking of that, maybe you could help. I know that one of the stocks that you are hot on from a long term, and folks, we don't typically hear that out of Garo. One of the stocks that you're hot on is Visa. And that you have several reasons to believe that Visa's got a lot of upside potential. And I know that shortly after you went long into this trade, it was making a really nice move to the upside. Today, I showed just the opposite. What you just indicated was bad news for Apple.
Yes.
Looks like it's bad news for Visa today. Is that how you're reading it as well?
Absolutely. Visa is a short from here.
Yeah, okay.
Visa is short. You see, yes, Friday was MasterCard was a short. Friday at the close. You see, American Express today is the second day is a short. Except today, it stopped at the 50-day simple moving average. If this slides from here, American Express, from this point, the next stop is going to be 62.36. But there is no chance for these stocks that the daily hits the candle to the dot and the dot goes up. That is a bad news for that kind. Same thing with Apple.
Sure.
I'm doing this for 17 years. So this is the way I make my money.
That's why you are our resident expert, and we don't need to go any further other than just to rely on you for as our parabolic star expert. But folks, if you watch us on Tiger TV, I just put the SPY up on the chart as well, and you can see you've got that exact same pattern. Where today, you've got a dot, which basically becomes your resistance level or your stop level, which right now would be priced out in my system of 212.52. So Garo's message to you is, if you're long the SPYs, be careful out there. Is that correct?
No, the SPY is not. You have to watch it. The spider is not in a good shape either. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Because today you've got now a dot up on top of today's candle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to talk
You
about.
bet.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Thanks so much for calling, Garo. That was Garo in California, and we got a chance to take a look at a different system and a number of different stocks out there. So before we took that call, remember we were taking a look at the trend line inside New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq Composite, the Dow, as well as the S&P 500. We noticed that you've got the VIX index trading out here at 1947. You've got 2 days in a row with a large rate of change increases there, and it just says to be careful, at least from an intraday trading standpoint. Be very careful, because it would not be, if the markets end like this or even worse. The worse, it gets even a likelihood, that's not even what's the right word, more likelihood that you're going to see a fairly significant bounce, at least in the pre-market out there. If we take a look at just from different time frames. Let me just go from a daily chart out here to some different time frames to see some of the messages. One of the weakness areas inside the market, if I take a look at the 5-hour chart, really was coming from, if we do some wave counts, really coming from the NQ out here. Right now we're in wave number 5. The interesting candle, it's on my screen right now, and we'll talk about it when we get BRAC as well as back. But as you take a look at this candle, that finishes off at 2 o'clock. What is it that you're seeing out here? Let's talk about that. The NQ, the 5-hour chart on Stevie's chart. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Before we went to that break, we were going to take a look at the 5-hour chart for the NQ, but and we will do that. But what I have on my screen right now is I have the 5-hour chart for the NQ, the ES, the Dow, YM, as well as the Russell 2000. You'll see in 3 of the 4, they have the potential for the same type of candle out here. And as we take a look at it, in the upper left-hand corner, you've got the NQ. It's probably harder to see because we've got just these white lines out here. If I change the color, it would be a little bit easier for you to see, just simply because it's a doji candle. But nonetheless, hey, we're all visual. I can change it to red here pretty quickly. It should be changing as we speak, and then you'll see that one. Okay, so there's the red. Now, what's really important, so the candle, as you'll see, on the 5-hour chart, the previous high, previous low has been exceeded in the Dow, inside the ES Mini, inside of the Russell 2000, not the Russell 2000, but inside the NQ out here. Inside the Dow, down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, what you've got is you've got a nice bearish engulfing candle. So you've got a bullish reversal signal here. It is trading above its market profile low. You'll see that point of control closer to the bottom of the box. So that's a bullish bias. It's a bullish bias until you get up to the price point of 17,926. So on any bounce, that's what you want to be looking for. You've got the ES Mini, no bullish style candle other than its key reversal at this stage here, but any close above the low of the bottom of that box out there at 2089 says you can move up to as high as 2104. So that bounce that I'm referring to, that I mentioned to you earlier, those are levels you want to be watching. Of course, it may only get up to that POC, that point of control, up in the 2098 level. It's already done that. That's where it found resistance here earlier today, and so that's an area that you're going to want to watch. And the NQ, we can see here that price is trading, even though it's a key reversal, potential key reversal. We won't know till 2 o'clock, and it has to close just one tick to the upside out here. That would qualify as that candle style. What you and I know is this really needs to prove itself to us on any bounce, and it's got to get above 44, 49, 15. That's the number you want to go ahead and put on your pad of paper out here. Overnight, you'd want to be watching that. Maybe by the close, I don't know where price closes, but that's the number you'd want to be watching. That also has a box that is a bias, has a bullish bias to it. I know I could figure that out. And I would say that price there would move up to about the 44.87 level. So those are the areas to really pay attention to. I'd focus on the NQ the most. The reason why I would focus on the NQ the most is because we have seen price moving lower, doing it with less relative energy out there. So if you get the cavalry, if you get the bullish engulfing candle out here, that says that you at a minimum see the bounce. It can also be a bottom, but at least it should be a bounce. It may not turn into any of that, but if you're an intraday-ish type trader, if you're trading the futures contracts, you want to be able to have places where you would go ahead and place your stops or adjust your trade, and those would be the levels that I would be watching like a hawk. You know, we said on the 5-hour chart, or I said that NQ was a little bit weaker than the Dow. You can see only in mode or level or wave 3 inside of the Dow off of its low out here. So I'll be watching that 17,790 area very closely inside of the Dow. But for the most part, and there's a question inside the Tiger and Steve, is the small caps leading down this market? What's your opinion, please? Let's go take a look at the small caps, and let's compare that to the NQ out here. And I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to expand the screen, and we're just going to use the 5-hour chart here for the two of them. So the right-hand side of the screen is the Russell 2000 out here. And if we just simply take a look at retracements, because that's going to be one tool that we would use to measure that, Daizuga. Oh, I'd like to know the origin of Daizuga and where that, the meaning behind that. Now we're going to do the same thing. That's the screen handle inside our Tiger's Den out here. And we're going to just go ahead and measure from the same set of swing points just to understand who's leading who, because these have been the two strongest indices out here. So from the low, same swing point inside of the NQ up to the high. Now the I'll get it out. The NQ made a higher, formed a higher prior to the Russell 2000. What we can see here with regard to weakness or leading things down, the NQ is trading right at about the 0.382 retracement of that, whereas the Russell 2000 still just slightly above that area. I do have a 10-minute delay on the Russell 2000, but I don't think it's trading out at 1149.20 out there. So with regard to any real substantial weakness in the marketplace, it's really not anywhere as we speak just yet. So what does that mean? That means what we're seeing is we are seeing an overbought condition get worked off. And until we see those trend lines that you and I looked at earlier get broken, that's what we're looking at. I mean, you can't sit here. I don't care whether you want to trade things to the downside or the upside and you want to use some trend lines out here and say, in one sense, the trend is your friend, and then you're going to ignore the trend. But the trend is our friend, and it's out there. And that was quite a steep trend to the upside that we had off of those February lows. So even that steep trend line has not been busted through. And so at this stage of the game, let's go take a look at the ETS. It's a real bummer. I know it's there. I know it's somewhere in front of me. I just can't find it. What is that's there? What is there is I have this chart that I spent a lot of time on. I know I spent a lot of time on it because I did it twice. Because the first time, I know I lost it. And that was a chart where I went back to the Dow, and I plotted on that every major war or excursion, U.S.-wise, and what the market did, as well as, and this is the sad fact, is over the years, and it's now like the last 15 years, I guess, right? Yeah, 15 years, where I went ahead and I started plotting every major terrorist action as well. We're talking major. We're not just talking something blowing up here or there, Beirut or what have you, but anything that's major that could really rock the markets. Now, the interesting thing, so I just share this from absolute factual memory out here, and that's why today's market is really interesting. Now, most of over the course of the last 15 years, we really haven't had much here in the States that we've had to worry about. Referring to after 9/11. Yeah, there have been a few things out here, but nothing as significant as what we saw over in Europe, months ago, right? And there's been several incidents, right? You had the bombing on the double-decker bus in London, but I have each of those things plotted. Now, the interesting thing is, and many of those have taken place on a weekend, right? You had the Friday night massacre in France, right? As well as we had now just this recent situation here in Orlando, and the immediate inclination. Now, typically the way that the markets respond, the futures market open up and they immediately trade lower, but that trading lower that's it. It's like that's where it trades to, and then the markets pick them up. Now, I don't know what the influences are, outside influences, whatever it might be. I'm not sitting here to tell you how, why, what, or when. I am here to tell you what the markets do. The why, I don't know. I just know that it's a pattern, right? You and I, we're all about trying to understand patterns. If we can see a pattern, then that gives us a slight edge. Doesn't mean that edge is always going to work, but it gives us an edge out there. And I can tell you that in every instance that the markets have traded higher. Usually the first day after, maybe it's, take a look at, the Pearsons, my goodness, that set up a major bottom inside the marketplace. Why? I don't know. I just know that it did. So this is going to be pretty darn interesting. We'll go take a look at some volumes. We'll see what has gone on during the last 4 hours. See if we can figure out what's going to happen during the next 2.5. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hey, welcome back, folks. We're going to go take a look at some volume, see what we can see inside the markets out here today. Let's start with the IWM. We were talking about that a bit earlier. So far, volume today is about 22 million shares. On Friday, we saw volume pick up to the downside, 32 million shares out there. Well, I don't know what the math equivalent is off the top of my head, but if you give me a moment here, I can probably find the spot on my spreadsheet. Where would I put it? Come on, show up real quickly. Oh, come on. I should really have this thing set up ahead of time. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so volume so far, about 22 million shares. That gives us about 31 million. It was doing 32 million on Friday. So it's not any big, huge volume or anything to the downside. Hey, let's go to Sioux Falls. Is there Sioux Falls? No. Oh, that's not I'm reading something incorrectly out there. We could go out to Sioux Falls, but that's not going to accomplish anything. So with regard to the IWM, the only thing that we know right now is that prices pulled back to a swing point that it broke above. The swing point I'm referring to is April 27th. When price broke above that, it was with 26 million shares. So it's pulling back into that level. Was similar to slightly higher volume today. That swing point had 24 million shares. It's trading right at the bottom of its TAS market profile. That's a new box that formed a couple of days ago. So watch for 114.84. You see it close below that, that would suggest to me that you could move down to maybe the 111 type area out here. But this should be good support for the IWM. If we go take a look at the QQQ series ETF, that right now is trading out at 108.30. The volume behind the Qs today so far is 14 million shares. Boy, that's light volume. That's 20 million shares in essence to the downside. You can see the trend line out here. You can see price making its way down to the top of its weekly box at 108.07. In essence, it's going into where price had broken out with 38 million shares. That was on the trading day of May 25th. So the Qs are saying, I don't think so. At least that's its message. Let's take a look at the SPY out here right now. You've got the SPY trading down with 60 million shares today. That would equate to about 86 or so, I think. Yeah, about 8. No, wait. We've been trading for 4 hours. Those volumes are off just a tad. Let me do this here. Not by much, but about 95 million. Let's say 95 million shares. And you did 113 on Friday. Now, what are the SPYs doing out here? Here's what the SPYs are doing. Let's get rid of some of these lines. Maybe just turn some of these things on one at a time. Makes it a little bit easier for you to actually see what we're looking at. So here's the SPYs. Now, inside the SPY itself, you've got two different trend lines that it's dealing with. First of all, a SPY formed a high back in May 20th, 2015. And that's the high that the SPYs are going to go ahead and take out by July. When exactly, if you want the exact date, well, just sign up for my newsletter, Mastering Probability. Come join us tomorrow night for my workshop about the oscillator on change line. You might say, what the heck is an oscillator? Hey, folks, I guarantee you that right now, this very second, you are using an oscillator. You don't even think about it, but you use this oscillator for so many things out there that without it, you wouldn't know what to do. That'd be the same thing like missing my workshop tomorrow. An oscillator, it is nothing else other than something that measures the fluctuation between two things based on changes in energy. How's that? Well, that was pretty smooth out there, but that is the truth. You know, things that use an oscillator that you're using right now, your computer. Your clock speed on your computer is what is assisting in being able to deal with the exchange of data. If you didn't have that oscillator, you'd be dead in the water. And if you don't come to learn about the oscillator on change line and everything else that it utilizes, you are missing out on an extraordinary tool out here. I don't spend time. I'm not going to spend my time wasting my time on things. I will absolutely not waste your time. So it's going to absolutely be worthwhile. Now, with regard to the trend line out here, if you come and just a simple tool, right? Just a simple tool, but we're just simple people out here looking for simple answers. And if we take a look at the highs from the the May 20th level, you can see how we can mark a trend line. We can go back to the November 3rd level to identify that next touch point, or if you want to, you can use July 20th, 2015. Doesn't really matter. But what we can see here is what did matter is that price broke above that trend line. Did that back around May 26th. Price, when you break through a trend, you like to see price come back, test it, reject it, and say, hey, I'm out of here. Now, it doesn't work 100% of the time. If I could give you the Holy Grail, I'll give you the Holy Grail. Actually, Garo shared the Holy Grail with you. And I share the Holy Grail with you, as Z in the Tiger's Den shares the Holy Grail with you all the time. Not some of the time, not when they feel like it, all the time. And what is that? Each one of us has a system that we follow. And each of those systems say, here's where I'm going to enter, here's where I'm going to exit, and exit on both sides of the trade. Doesn't mean that we don't adjust. It just means we get in that trade, and here's the information. And if there's an adjustment, there's a good reason. It's not willy-nilly. It's a new dot has formed. It's a swing point piece of information. It's a new TAS marker. It is something that is a part of their system, my system, your system. And if you use those tools, that is the absolute holy grail. You don't second guess yourself. You go ahead and you execute. And you like using that word execute today, but you go ahead and you execute the trade, and then you come back and you take a look at it, because you can always get back in on that trade. And maybe it's a few ticks higher, a few pennies higher, a few pennies lower, but you are now out of that trade perhaps, and you're reassessing, and there is no better time to be objective than when you are out of the trade. So at this stage here, we know we've got that trend line. That price is just coming back to test, hasn't broken through it. Not saying that it can't, saying that it hasn't, and saying that we've got light volume. And then you've got the other trend line, right? You've got the rising trend line off of this February low out here. And until that gets broken, you've got two trends right now inside the SPYs that are your friend. I wish that I could say that on the futures contracts that we could find, for you bulls out there, that we could find lots more trends. But it's just not there. You know, I take that back. It is out here. It is on the 120-minute time frame. If we take a look at that chart, that's good to use because our charts, yours and mine, they will line up. The 5-hour charts are going to sometimes be different because of the way that charting systems use their time calendar, right? Their clock, an oscillator that is, a clock as an oscillator. In fact, the clock that you probably are most interested in, if you are an analyzer, like myself out here, the clock you're most interested in is what? The atomic clock. Right? You probably set your computer from time to time to what? To the atomic clock. And what does it use as an oscillator, right? It's oscillating the atoms within it, right? It's an atomic clock. It's using an oscillator in order to be able to generate the exact time for you. Now, the nice thing about using a 2-hour chart, when the futures contracts open Sunday evening to when it closes at 5:15, we're all simply seem to be in sync here. Now, the 2-hour chart, we've got price moving lower, doing less relative energy. That's what's occurring right now as we speak at 2 o'clock. We don't have any kind of bullish reversal signal yet. In the next 10 minutes, are we likely to get it? Hey, closing above 2080, and at this stage here, 28 and a quarter would perhaps get us to that piercing candle, but we're not there just yet. But it's worth noting, worth paying attention to. So when we get back from this break, now we've looked at what the market hasn't done yet, but let's go look at just simply the absolute possible bearish case that I could find for us, and I will do my best to find it. I promise you. All I'm really doing is reading you the story of the markets. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David Dwight as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 72 right now. S&P is off 10 points. So I said we'd go back and take a look and try to figure out, the real bearish side of the market where we're at right now. And look, I can find absolute uniformity that says that things have turned down around the world out here. We take a look at the workshop that we're going to do tomorrow night, the oscillator and change line. That happens to be this red line out here that is on my chart. And what this shows, we're looking at the DAX is in the upper panel, the FTSE right below that, the Nikkei below that, the Hang Seng, and then the Shanghai. So this way we've got 5 world markets. If we believe that the markets are synergistic, I like the use of that word out here, which they are, and we're all going to kind of move in the same direction, well, markets around the world have absolutely turned down. Price oscillators are moving in a downward action, and quite frankly, until you see a close back above those red lines out there, that is your first sign that a change in trend has occurred out here. So inside those 5 markets worldwide, that message there is not bullish. You don't have well, it's a 50-50. Some are bullish, some are bearish. It is just, and bearish is not necessarily the word to use. Maybe that sellers are the ones that are in control. How about that, right? In the case of our markets here, I'll break that down into the NASDAQ Composite, the NDX, and the SOX. Those are the 3 charts on this screen. You can see that prices are now down below the red line in each of those. The one I'd be paying attention to for any kind of a turn, we did see the semiconductors. They showed a lot of strength last week or so. 703.49 is the number to be watching there. Right now, that is resistance, but it closed back above that would say that maybe this was overdone quickly, and we just really developed went from an overbought to maybe an oversold type level. But we're not there just yet. If we take a look at the Dow Jones Industrials, the Dow Jones Transportation, those are now below the red line, their oscillator and change line. But that's not the case in the utilities. That's not too uncommon out here. That number inside the utilities looks like 672.71. So we are seeing a synergy across the board. And that includes the other 2 indices that you like to track out here, and that is the New York Stock Exchange and the Wilshire 5000. So I can take a look at every major indice that you and I would follow, and across the board, they are all carrying with it the exact same message out here. You had, is it going to be the U.S. that was going to stop the bleeding, so to speak? 156, it doesn't look like it, even without volume so far behind the move. If we take a look at go to the ultra short-term 10-minute charts out here, you can see we're testing so far the swing point lows from earlier. The ES Mini had done volume at this level of 28,000 contracts, and you're at 28,146 right now with 3 minutes to go. So that's taking on a swing point with similar or more volume. In the case of the NQ, though, not so quick, because 98.72 was the contract volume at that swing point that began at 11.50 this morning, and you are now down with about 34.84. You haven't tested the low, but you're hitting that swing point with light volume as we speak right now. So anything else really to watch? Nothing that I can see out here. If we take a look at what else? So light sweet crude, it's back 42 cents, trade down at 48.65. Looks to me like its trend line is still intact out here. I haven't drawn that in, but we can see that. So that's pretty clear out here. Let's just take a look at where light sweet crude is trading in relation to its market profiles, and you can see right now should be finding support. Should be finding good support where it's trading, which is at a price point, or the good support level should be 48.11. So far, that is held as support. 48.16 was tested, but you get back below 48.11, and that sends price all the way back down to 45.73. Hey, folks, stay tuned. David White is up next, our polar bear. Then we got the Tom O'Brien Show. Have a great Monday. I look forward to seeing you on Terrific Tuesday. Take care, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.